Hi everybody, it's time for fishing right now, and we exist for one reason and one reason only, and that's to help you learn how to catch more fish. We're here to be of service for you, so in the next half hour I hope to pass along some information that will help you go out, be successful catching some near you this coming weekend. We've got a pretty cool little fishing story to tell you as well. It all starts now because Fox Sports Outdoors is on the air.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
Hi everybody, welcome into the show and welcome to the state of Oklahoma. I got a cool fishing story I'm going to tell you today. But right off the bat, let me tell you that we're going to be fishing on this week's episode out of a brand new boat that I've never fished out of before. This is the Tracker Pro Guide V175. It's a really nice deep boat, got a big deep V. It'll cut waves real well for big water. It'll fish several people, and I hope to put some fish in it for the first time today. Now here's the fishing story. A couple of years ago, quite by accident, I stopped into this lake. This is Carl Blackwell Lake. It's located outside Stillwater, Oklahoma. It gets a lot of boat traffic on this lake, but it's got a ton of fish in it. We caught some nice hybrid stripers, some crappie, several different species. We're gonna go out today for a follow-up visit, hopefully catch a few of those fish and pass along some tips and pointers that you could use to find fish on your local lake, river, or bay this coming weekend. We've got fishing reports for you this week from our expert team of insider reporters from lakes, rivers, and bays near you, both fresh and saltwater. It's going to be a great half hour coming up right now. We got the Tracker Pro Guide V175 down the boat ramp into Carl Blackwell Lake in Oklahoma. Next time you see me, I'll be out there fishing. Right now, it all gets started back at the FSN studios with your weekend planner.
Good news, both days this weekend should provide great fishing action. Overall, the Slooner tables are indicating that Saturday will be one of the best of the month, with peak times beginning at 1:29 a.m. and 1:58 p.m., while Sunday's conditions are listed as excellent. Look for the sun to rise at 6:48 and set at 8:16. And we'll have a new moon on Saturday. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the region. Plus, I'll return with 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion Edwin Evers for this week's Ask the Pro question. We're coming right back.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lew's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland. We know bass and crappie from heads to tails. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan your fishing vacation and catch the details at orangebeach.com/fishing. And by GLACER Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades.
That is a fish. Golly, he didn't hit very hard at all. Whoa, that's got to be a hybrid. Well, we're out here floating around on Carl Blackwell right now, and so what I'm doing is there's a bite right there. Letting my bait, pushing my button, letting my bait spool down to the bottom, cranking it up. That is a fish. Golly, he didn't hit very hard at all. Whoa, that's got to be a hybrid. Well, that didn't take very long. I think it's a hybrid. So here's a couple of things about hybrid stripers. If you've never, oh, that's a decent fish. If you've never fished for them before, oh, well, get in that net. They fight a lot harder than either a white bass or a striper, which is what they are. They're a cross. And he's got that hook in a really precarious place. There it is, I got it. Now I got the hook out. Now let's get this fish up here before he hurts somebody or me. So you can see the broken lines down their side. That's how you can, most of the time, easily tell that they're a hybrid versus a pure striper. But they fight a lot harder than either the white or the striper. They are a hot weather fish. Let's let that fish go back. See you, buddy, appreciate the fight. The hotter it gets, the better these fish will actually feed. So You can catch them right in the hottest part of the summertime and they'll actually be actively feeding, whereas a striper will only bite early in the morning and late in the evening most of the time in the hot summertime. These fish feed all day. The hotter the better. You can get the water temperature up in the 90s and they'll still bite. And the third thing is they're an open water fish. You're not going to find them typically up around stumps or timber, grass beds, rocks, anything like that. They're going to be out in open water and you're going to find them on bait. Schools of bait fish in 10 to 40 feet of water is typically where you're going to find them. Very nomadic. They wander around and they just follow schools of bait fish.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Outdoor Report. We're talking Louisiana. We're going to talk fresh and salt water. Tell you what, as you can see right here, we're in the summertime pattern. Lots of speckled trout getting caught all along the coast, from Pontchartrain down to Breton Sound. Tell you what, Bill Lake and Houma, same here on Calcasieu Lake. Live shrimp seems to be the key right now. Of course, they're biting better early and late because of the heat of the day. Tell you what, bass fishing. Talked to some people up at Caddo. Lots of good bass getting caught. Same thing, early and late and a little bit at night. Up shallow, around lily pads, moss, around the trees. I tell you what, buzz bait, spinner bait seem to be the best baits right there. If y'all want to make a trip down here to Cajun Paradise, look us up. Come down and see us. For Old Cajun Field, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing and may God bless.
Man, we are in a huge school of fish. Man, we are in a huge school of fish. Somebody's fixing to get bit. Got it. What a big school. That's going to be a good hybrid right there. Look at him streaking sideways. These fish, decent fish. They are mad fish. And you always want to net these fish. Don't ever try to land a hybrid with your bare hands, because they absolutely will hurt you. Look at that. They just will not give up. Stop. Good grief. Well, it's just another good one. These are just all fun fish to catch. Man, you want to have some decent tackle when you come out here and do this. You can't be bringing a little spinning rod or a little ultralight of any kind. You got to have something with some beef. I'll show you my tackle a little bit later on. But there's another one. Well, we're in some fish. What we're on right now is a point. This is you can't really see it with your naked eye. Right here in front of me, there's a long underwater skinny point that comes all the way out in the lake, and it comes out here about probably 300 yards offshore, and these fish are just roaming around out here. So two different ways to catch them. Long cast, let it go to the bottom and crank it with a spoon or a swim bait. Or if you get right on top of a school like we were, then you can let that bait go to the bottom and pull it, swim it up, let it go back, pull it, swim it up. That's your two techniques for catching hybrid stripers. You don't want to do a lot of little short popping and hopping it like that. They won't hit it near as well. They want the bait swimming up in a smooth, steady swimming motion, whatever the bait is you're throwing, and they absolutely can't stand it.
Hey, in last week's fishing report, I mentioned that 10 foot seems to be the magical depth for catching a variety of species at many places across the state of Oklahoma at this time. A visit with Kurt Kuklinski last week says there's good science behind that reasoning. He says that in most of our waters, the thermocline is set up right now 10 to 13 feet deep, and he expects that to be the case for another 45 days or so. By the simplest definition, the thermocline is the separating line between the warm waters above and the cool waters below. Below the thermocline, you have diminished oxygen, so you want to concentrate your fishing at the thermocline and shallower. On sonar, the thermocline kind of looks like a fuzzy, cloudy line across your screen, and that's because of all the plankton activity in it. And the smaller fish species, the little tiny things, are feeding on that plankton. That's why the thermocline area is really good for crappie fishing right now, and why the guys are downsizing their baits. Gary Rowe from Wagner's using the Bobby Garland Itty Bit Slab Slayer and Itty Bit Swimmer to target those crappie around that 10 foot depth line. And Kevin DeLong is using the little small crappie shooter for the same reason, but he's fishing Lake Hudson and Keystone, and those guys are doing really well fishing those baits on a 32nd and 48th ounce jig head, typically using 4-pound test lines, but staying in and around that 10 foot of water and catching those crappie. You can catch the crappie right now around the thermocline, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Push the button, let it go to the bottom, and then crank it up. And then one hammers it like that. Wow. Come up on top, you bad boy. They are some kind of fighters. Little hybrid. Not that little, not that little. Not that little. Swim in my net. Thank you. Wow. Well, I tell you, if you're looking for a place to catch some hybrid stripers and you live anywhere around Oklahoma, this might be worth your trip. These are the fastest fish. I tell you, this is right near Oklahoma State University. There's an OSU Cowboy hybrid striper for you right there. Back that fish goes. Well, caught that one on a swim bait. Again, you want to swim it sideways. So just again, to show you the technique, I'll show you the up close shot of the paddle tail, swim tail in a minute. Make a long cast with some fairly beefy tackle. Let it go to the bottom. Not necessarily the fish aren't going to be on the bottom. In fact, hybrid stripers rarely are right on the bottom. Turn that handle, swim it sideways. Let it come up about halfway. Push that button. Let it fall back to the bottom. Soon as it hits the bottom, turn that reel handle, swim it up through the fish, and get hammered by a hybrid striper. This place is loaded with them. All right, hang in here. We're gonna catch some more.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by MotorGuide's new wireless and easy-to-use XI3. XI batteries powering the world forward. WAYPOINT Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. And Strike King, designed by the pros, fished by you.
Hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. Eat it. He did. All right. Hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. Eat it. He did. All right, we got another one. Hey everybody, we're still out here just catching these hybrid stripers, one right after the next at Carl Blackwell Lake in Oklahoma. And I want to tell you about a really interesting phenomenon that's going on with these fish. God, look at that. Look at that. You talk about angry fish. They are just not happy fish at all. Look at that. Goodness. These fish are right above a thermocline, and I'm going to explain to you what a thermocline is. There we go. Big old fat dude. That one hit my swim bait. I've got them hitting the swim bait really good today. They're all about the same size. They're just good, solid 5, 6, 7 pound fish, a lot of them. Back he goes. See you, buddy. I want to explain something to you. In most reservoirs in the summertime, a thermocline will develop. That's a layer of water below which there's no oxygen. The bait can't live there, the game fish can't live there, so they're going to be above it. Today is just a classic example. I can show you on my LOWRANCE Hook 2 units here. These are entry-level units, but they have got so many great features, and you can do this right here with a Hook 2 unit. You can see the little blue dots right down close to the bottom, the little fuzzy blue area. That's the thermocline. And all these fish are right above that thermocline. You can see the hook echoes, the yellow and orange streaks right above that blue thermocline. That's where these fish are holding. So a swim bait is a perfect bait to cast out, swim it up above that thermocline, and then just keep a slow, steady retrieve on it and they will come up and just hammer it.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you once again by the good folks at Fiberworks Marine Collision. With an attention to detail you have to see to believe, Fiberworks will put your boat back in A1 shape as quickly as possible. Now this week we're going to start with Lake Aquila, very near Whitney, where they have a great crappie bite. You'll be looking for the isolated brush piles that are planted throughout the lake using your electronics. When you find the brush piles, you'll mark them and then drop a bait down. You can use your crappie jigs, of course, in your chartreuses, whites, and red colors, or you can drop crappie rigs or single minnows down on these brush piles for your Aquila crappie. Now out at Lake Waco, we have two good bites going on right now. First is catfish, where you'll find them on your main lake points about 20 feet deep. You'll want to chum with some kind of range cube, dog food, or soured grain for the channels, or use some diced live bait if you're going to try for the blues. The bass bite, recent tournament just took over 20 pounds to win. I'd fish a bladed bait or a crankbait around the rock structure for my Waco bass. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Fiberworks Marine Collision. When good enough just isn't good enough. Be sure and check us out, Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Hey folks, Captain Greg Varm here with this week's Fox Southwest Outdoors Report. Hey, August is a great month here on the upper Texas Gulf Coast. Weather stabilizes, winds calm, and the dog days of summer bring a flat surf. From beachfront trout to tarpon. Lots of tarpon are being caught right now on the beachfront. 3 key places to target for the Silver Kings: Rollover Pass at Bolivar, the San Luis Pass between Galveston Island and Surfside, and the mouth of the Brazos over in Freeport. Fishing 25 to 35 foot of water using coon pop jigs or live baits. Also keep an eye on the surface for bait pods and blow-ups. This is a great month to hook into a giant tarpon, and you will be in for an acrobatic battle with the Gulf Coast Silver King. Also, we've been catching some big sharks. For anyone that wants to hook into a fierce fighting giant fish, target the Galveston beachfront along both the north and south jetties, and even in the channel. Black tips, hammerheads, Atlantic sharpnose, spinners, and shovelheads are being caught right now. Fresh shad, mullet, sand trout, and probably my favorite bait, the ladyfish. Have a couple lines out on the bottom with the 8-ounce egg sinker and a couple lines on top water under a balloon. You're going to catch sharks right now. This is great fun for kids and adults alike. We encourage catch, photo, and release for these awesome fish. Hey, if you want to fish the bays of Galveston and Freeport or offshore fishing, remember amberjack season just opened. Give me a call or check out our websites. Also, we have waterfront lodging at Bay's Landing. Hey, I'm Captain Greg Varm. I'll see you next time.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes by clicking the archive button and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free WAYPOINT TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by NITRO Performance Fishing Boats. Champions aren't born, they're made. Mercury Outboards, go boldly. And LOWRANCE and the new Hook 2, the world's easiest fish finder.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Ask the Pros segment, where viewers get expert insights from professional insiders. This week's question comes from Ryan, who asks, at what age would you recommend switching a child from a toy fishing rod and reel to a more serious rig? For the answer, we checked with 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion Edwin Evers.
It all depends on the kid, you know, what age you're going to try to graduate them from that Snoopy pole on up to, you know, say a Bass Pro baitcaster. You know, me as a kid, I was really young throwing baitcasters, but, you know, heck, my son, he's still using a little old Zebco 33 push button, so he's just not that into it yet, but it just all depends on the kid. You know, if the kid's really into it, then I'd move him right up the ladder. The quicker you can get a kid with a baitcaster in his hand, the more proficient, the more effective, the more productive he's going to be.
Thank you, Edwin. If you have something to ask one of the pros, visit our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's take a look at this week's Big Catch winner.
We are back at the marina, and we've got the Tracker Pro Guide V175 back on the trailer after its fantastic maiden voyage catching the hybrid stripers here. And it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. She is Linda Wilcoxon of Tyler, Texas, showing a 14-pound largemouth bass She caught at Lake Tyler in Texas. And here are some bonus photos. Tucker Daughtry with a 9-pound 2-ounce largemouth bass, Mickey Skinner with an 8-pound bass, Patrick Lohr with a stringer of crappie topped by a 15 3/4 incher, all caught at Lake Tyler in Texas. If you'd like to be our next winner, just go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click on the Big Catch area on the right side of the homepage and follow the instructions to send us your big fish photo. It just might get seen on television. Next up, it's the right gear to catch these big old hybrid striped bass, and trust me when I tell you, you need some beefy tackle to do this. Do not bring light, wimpy action tackle out to catch these brute fish. They are mad fish from the moment you hook them. This is the Team Lew's Custom Pro Speed Stick Rod. It's 7 foot 11 inches long, nearly 8 feet, and it's a medium heavy action. It's got a big long handle to fight those fish, and we've got the Team Lew's Hyper Mag reel matched with it. It is the perfect reel to do this with. This is a great setup for catching hybrid stripers. Now, as far as the baits go, this is the swim bait. It's a 3/4 ounce painted jig head with a screw lock design, and I screwed that swim plastic body onto the back of it. It's got a swimming tail, a lot of action. Caught a bunch of those big hybrids today, and then here's a really beat up slab spoon that I caught a bunch on. I always change my spoons out to a single hook so that they're easier to unhook and release those hybrids once you get them in the boat. And then this is very critical. These are my GLACER gloves. When you're catching these fish with those spiny fins and those sharp gill plates and those sharp teeth, you really need some good fingerless gloves. GLACER gloves are the ones you need. This is the Isla Mirada style in the blue camo color. They've got some leather on the palms to help you grip. They're fingerless so you can tie hooks and unhook those fish, but they're really protective from the sun and the wind and the water. Look for GLACER gloves at their website, at the website you see right there on your screen. Here is a quote from Naval Admiral William H. McRaven at the commencement ceremony at the University of Texas in 2014. If you make your bed every morning, you'll have accomplished the first task of the day. It'll give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task and another and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never do the big things right. This guy's been a Navy SEAL for 36 years, and he's figured out that we all make hundreds of choices every day and every week. But being honest, having integrity, having pride in who you are, and doing the right thing in the small choices mean that you can accomplish much bigger things. If you want to make a difference in your world, start by doing the little things right. Hey, thanks for joining us today from beautiful Carl Blackwell Lake just outside Stillwater, Oklahoma, home of some big old hard-fighting hybrid striped bass. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for lots more fishing news you won't see here on the show. And go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, sign up for the free email newsletter in the middle of the page, and once again, you'll get lots of stuff that we don't have time for here on the show. From Oklahoma until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.